Hi there. Question for you. Are we too soft on Ghanaian workers? What do you think? Are we too soft in, for example, dealing with someone that's still in the company? For example, I've had this done, and when I talked about reporting this matter to the police station, people around will say, "Oh, forgive him. It's okay. Don't worry. God will give it back to you some other way. Police station is not the end all be all. It's not the solution." Okay, so the reason I'm saying that to say this. Right now, I'm in court on a separate situation, and while I was in court, before our case was called, there was a case that was being dealt with. They called a group of young, maybe they must maybe 18, 19, 20, in the teenagers, maybe in the early 20s or something like that. There was about five of them that came that they have arrested. So you can tell that they brought them from the cells to be for the case to be brought up in court. And when I inquired after, like, I said, "Oh, what did this young boy did?" Like, I was generally curious. But as I listened, it was a case between these five boys and a company called Sunda. Now, if you don't know Sunda is a Chinese company. They make tiles, they make soap, they make a range of products, and they are doing very well in the Ghanaian market. They are making loads of money. They have thousands of employees, right? You find them behind Westos Mall. Right now, in court, in wager court, I was there where they had taken five of their employees to court. Five, right? So the Chinese don't play because it was due to basic stealing. They something went missing, right? Robbery. So all these five boys, they got the police on them and they brought the case to court. Do you think it's a good thing? Should we be doing that? I think yes, because if we don't do that, then how do we get people to learn from their mistakes? Right? If we keep on forgiving people and we keep on letting people, their families come and beg just because I'm Ghanaian. If I was to fire someone for stealing, either I get someone begging on their behalf. But is that healthy for the organization you are trying to build? Is that healthy for even the country that you are trying to bring employment? You have employed this person, and this person stealing, right? There's only so much training you can give a person. This is a question of morals, principles. It's not something that you can just teach out of people unless they have themselves want to stop stealing. And we all have stolen something. For example, I remember the first time I decided I would not steal anymore. I was about maybe 13. I used to observe my older brother taking £1 from my mother's purse, and I also started copying my brother. So I'll wait for my mother to be in the bathroom, and then oh, ma, Ujare, mom, are you bathing? And then when she says yes, then I'll go into a purse and take out, pick £1 from it. And I kept on doing this, and she must have caught on. So one day, I asked the same question when she was in the bathroom. Ma, Ujare, ma, are you bathing? She responded yes, and I proceeded to remove a pound coin from her bag. And as soon as I went in the bag, removing the pound coin from the bag, the door opened. She opened the door. And then I was so embarrassed, I jumped onto the bed. Right? And I was so embarrassed. I can't tell you how ashamed I was. Just for mom to know that I'm taking money from her bag, stealing from her bag. And that got me thinking, oh my God. Because the way I genuinely felt really like genuinely ashamed. And I thought to myself, oh my God, what if this was outside? What if I was caught outside? This is my mother, and I'm ashamed. I wonder if this was outside, how it would feel. So I advised myself at that age that I would not steal. Simple as that, right? So you have people that just don't have the right morals, the right values, principles, you know. And in this world, like, you can have someone earning 1,000 Ghana cedis and they will not steal, and you can have someone earning 100,000 Ghana cedis, but they will steal. So it's not a question of the person earning too much or too little. It's a personality trait. Are you a thief or you are not a thief, right? If you have principles that say, hey, I will not steal, I'm sure you will not steal, no matter how small you are being paid. You will just find a way to either leave the job or get a better job, or even ask for more salary. But to steal, it depends. So I'm just saying, are we too soft, Ghanaians, you and I? Maybe you are watching from the UK, you're watching from the US, watching from somewhere in Europe, watching from Japan, watching, I don't know. I want to know, I mean, how have you, if anybody have maybe created a business in Ghana, how have you dealt with employees that steal? Please leave a comment. I would love to know, how have you dealt with? Because the Chinese, the Lebanese, they don't play. The Indians, they don't play. If you steal, it's a police case, it's a court case, they will deal with you. But when it comes to us, because we look like them, they expect us to what? To have a forgiving heart. Just like them when they were stealing. Did you have a forgiving heart when you were stealing from me? Now you want me to have a forgiving heart, right? So I'm just wondering. Oh, by the way, please like, comment, subscribe. This will do very nicely. It's a new channel that we're on trying to grow. So please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and you'll get the latest video that comes up. And by the way, we also have Airbnb apartments at beach view, very, very nice beach view, fantastic, overlooking the beach and the whole area. I think you enjoyed that view. So book now. If you're coming to Ghana anytime soon for holiday, for a visit, book. And we have another one in town that is around Mateko, more closer to the airport, 20 minutes from the airport, 10-15 minutes from the major towns like Cantonment, 37, Laboni, Osu, all these central places. So yeah, please come. I would love to host you. Come. So yeah, like I said, hit the subscribe button. It will really help out. So are we too lenient? Are we too soft on employees? I would like to know what you think. Yeah, I'd like to know what you think, because I think we are too soft on employees. We are too soft. We need to be a bit more harder. I had a manager, like I mentioned, I don't think I finished that story. I had a manager where this manager, I told him he had to go and collect some money from someone, and he was supposed to use that money to handle certain transactions. And I told him, when you collect this money, hold on to it tightly, because you're going to go in town and buy certain things. He's going to be going into Accra. So I told him to be very careful, because I didn't want any stories. So I told him, and he said, oh, he's going to be careful with the money. He went and collected the money. Lo and behold, I found out that it's a long story, but once I discovered that he hadn't given the monies to the people he's supposed to, that's when I started questioning him. That's when he finally opened up that he was someone took some money, 6,000 out of his hand, his backpack, and I asked him that, hey, didn't we have this conversation before you collected the money that, hey, you just collected a large amount of money, you're about to go into town, be very careful, and you said you are going to be very careful. So how come all of a sudden someone, you're walking, you say you left your bag open while you're walking, and someone has conveniently taken out 6,000 Ghana cedis? How does, like, no? And so, and after this is when I wanted to fire him. My wife also know this guy, because this particular guy, we had a little bit of history before he started working with me. He actually taught my children when he homeschooled my children for a period of like 3 months here in Ghana. So I thought, okay, he should come and work with me, and I thought he'd be good at it, be good. So this is what happened. He decided to stay. When I decided to fire him, my wife said, okay, let's give him a chance. And before you know it, other things started to happen. And eventually he left. But I'll tell you the longer story of that version in another video. Right? Now, I haven't prosecuted or taken that one to the police station. And I've been thinking of doing that lately, because he still hasn't paid up the money. And I know where he lives. So I'm thinking of actually pursuing this. What do you think? Do you think I should pursue this, or I should just forget it? Give it to God? What do you think? If it were me, what would you do? I would like to know. Thank you. So please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. And like I said, we have an Airbnb here in Ghana, Kokrobite by the beach. Fantastic view overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. Overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. You get nice sea breeze coming in. So you should definitely experience that. And like I said, we have another one in town. Also, it's very breezy, very airy, fantastic Airbnb apartment. We have 2-bed, 1-bed studios. So yeah, come and stay with your brother apartments, and then support the channel, support the business. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. God bless.